Theo, in case you click the first one or the second one. Opera, dude. You need to write the opera for me, man. It can be an anime too. You just gotta stick to the plot I came up with. And I got a bunch of stuff on mentality. Like karma. There's the yin and the yang. And then there's a little part under here. So you can say that is earth. And then it's good and evils. Now, what is evil? Why? See how strong this book was? You want to see a book from ancient Greece just run around and not avoid that doing is sin? Like it's not even there? Remember, in Greece, man, you would have to do, probably. Well, Rome seen through that. So if Greece was like all doing, then Rome seen right through that because you died from crucifixion. You get how they made you had to do blowjobs while you got crucified? What if Italy's mafia secretly has all Julius Caesar's poetry? Because he was captured by pirates after like a little while. You seen through. Like, how did he not die with the pirates? Because he's connected. He ran the original mafia. It was a staging to say Christianity. He didn't really take Clee's virginity. He just went there, said, I'll marry you in heaven, went back and got stabbed with a sword, and they wrote down in their papers that they do. What was getting stabbed with a sword if you died from crucifixion? Then I looked up and saw the morning rays, mantled its shoulders from the planet bright, which guides my feet right on all their ways. And this is a little quieted the affright, the lurking in my bosom, lake and lane, though the long horrors of the piteous night. And as swimmers panting from the main, haves safe to shore, and then turns to face and drive. Poerty sees and looks again. He was trying to see how you could think negative about Virgil, like where the other artists would fall short. You do know everyone should buy Fruit Loops. If more people put up songs, like you don't even have to play an instrument. See, it's really easy. Just use your ear. It would be trippy if a bunch of people buy Fruit Loops and just start putting up anything. And just like, make it happen, dude. Do the 60s, but instead of free love, man, it's throw the rocks at them and make techno. Yeah! So, I gotta elaborate more on this, because you can feel it. Like, you know those little tinks in your head? On paper, you can figure out what that tink is actually trying to tell you. When you're having a headache, dude, it means you're heavy avoiding something in your thoughts. It's weird because it's trippy, man. I'll show you later how to make it feel like magic in a video maybe later. So, but as I stood beneath a steep hillside which clothed the valley's wandering maze, whose dread had pierced me into the heart rock deep, then I looked up and saw the morning rays. Mantles its shoulders from the planet bright, which guides men feet aright on all their ways. This was a little quite frightful. He was going, I had my vision at with the morning rays. So it's like he really shined down. I'm keeping myself a little bit longer, taking as rude, but just to see how I would have shifted. Do you know what I'm saying? Alright, so you see through it's a bunch of stuff and like going on, and then it gets to the footnotes. At the age of 35, the midpoint of man's earthly pilgrimage of 70 years. The midway. Alright. The planet bright. The sun in medieval astronomy. The sun looked upon as being the century of the universe. The sun counted as planets. In the comedy, the sun is often used as a figure for the spiritual man, which is God. Hence no man yet come over out alive. Dante, as we shall see, is by no means out. as yet, nor will he be until he is passed out through death unto sin. Now that one was weird. He's saying, holy shit. Virgo was a crazy man who went from town to town. And the government was like, we can't kill this artist. And I see him. I wondered how you become someone like him. They're gonna kill me, man. They're gonna kill me. Because get all the girls do, and he's like, holy shit, dude. When I stop doing girls, because I see this Christian God, I'm dead. I better stay home for a little while until I can prove it. You know, I will go out to get groceries and screw the teacher, but whatever, dude. I'm quiet now. Hence, no, yet man can ever outlive. Dante, we shall see it by no means out, as no will he be, until he has passed through death unto sin. So that he fixed foot away was lower. He was going up the hill, walking in 3 ways, 1 foot fixed, 1 morning foot, and pull up. The movement of the foot is above, and then going down below the fixed foot. In his native sign, according to tradition, the sun was in the vertical son of Aries, the ram. The moment of the creation, the son of the Aries, 12 sweet. You know, this is all gypsy magic, too, that's talking about in here. It's the books from the Renaissance. What happened was they dug up Nero's castle, who was an ancient Roman Caesar after Nero, who also went down. Caligula made it like 2 years. They would all get up there, hear about this Jesus guy they just crucified. Like, holy shit, dude, I gotta show them, man. We are good. We are good. And they would all be like, yeah, they're all molested and shit. Like, Caligula lived in a fort ran by his father, and his father was poisoned by Tiberius. And then Tiberius put his mother in prison in order to commit suicide. And then they put Caligula in power. Tiberius is the one known for throwing the families off the cliff. So, how much of this is fake, though? Roman history. You know, because Nero also played the Lier. Julius Caesar got captured by pirates. Like, how do you know Tiberius wasn't the one secretly in power the whole time? And just showing them how good his boys are covered the whole thing up. And all this stuff was written by Sappho. They even made up ancient Greece, the Persian wars. Think about it. Persia, and they had the people and the money and the resources to make shit and just build it and then leave it. Because it's for Rome. You realize Constantine was in like 3 different places at the same time too. You just look up Constantine. There's like, he's in 3 different places at the same time. In the native signs, according to the traditions of the sun, was the creation of the zodiac. Alright, the sun is the Aries March, therefore the sweet season is that of spring. Later we discover that the day is Good Friday and the moon was full of previous nights. The indications do not previously correspond to the actual Easter sky of 13. Dante has merely described the astronomical phenomenon typical of Easter tide. As though grown voiceless, long lack of speech, the form is trying to speak to Dante but cannot make itself heard. From the point of view of the story, I think this means that, being in fact that of a ghost, it cannot speak until Dante has established communication by addressing itself. Allegorology. We think it takes 2 ways on the historical levels, perhaps means the wisdom and poetry of the classical age between the long neglected. On the spiritual levels, undoubtedly means that Dante had sunk so deep into sin that his voice of reason and even the poetry itself has become faint and almost powerless to recall him. What's up, Julius Caesar? Virgo was born in 17 BC and had published none of his greatest poems before the murder of Julius in 44 BC, so that he enjoyed his patronage. I was trying to figure out why it says he doesn't do blowjob. What if? Okay. Gotta move this one so the screen doesn't go black. Here's a picture I drew. We'll use a quick glance at my music theory paperwork. It's getting much better. Play 2 intervals, almost chord, double stop. Play 2 intervals separately, no sound, no song. Then later, balance up, up, down, up. How to run in 2 scales. Hold note differently, rhythm, 2-1. Cadence, safer, awesome, love him. I was writing down what I do and stuff. I also have a bunch of composer games up on the wall. I can write minuets. Wait till I make the how to write a minuet interview. Like, look. Cute, isn't it? Cute. Hello? Well, I couldn't find the Virgo book. I might have gave it back to my dishwasher Dave, who's an amazing writer. His music, better than anybody, but I see through, there's not a lot of great music out. J.K. Husband. Alright. This book is the book that drove Descentis crazy. It teaches you what Yale will teach you. Kinda. It just goes through, like, it's about a guy who's rich and he's older. It doesn't tell you he gets married, but there's a metaphor in there, and later you realize, like, black boobs. That's what happened. Then he has a gay experience, kinda. And, like, he tries to take a poor kid in and get him to steal. This book needs to be told. Pete Doherty has to go through. Like, I ruined one metaphor for you, but you have to know that it doesn't tell you the dude is married. Like, if there was more good poetry, like, I'd be like, censor this, censor that part. Wait till you see what happens to the turtle when you get the book. Clearly, this strange fact exists. He was less concerned now that in his childhood, when the Josette School Society directed him at, when the teaching was unavoidable, when he was in the hands belonging to the body and soul, when he had no family ties and no outside influences to constrict him. They had inculcated in him too certain taste for the marvelous which had slowly and so obscurely taken root in his soul. That was the blossom at the present time, and the solitude which is now having an effect on his mute spirit, interned and confirmed in the narrow circuits of obsession. He goes on and on about nothing. But, damn does it entertain. It's a book for artists. Like, it's even in theory and practice on magic. I found out about it because I went to the bookstore and they had Wild up on the shelf. And, like, since then, dude, I always wrote lyrics. But, like, Wild opened me up to Latin literature. Taught me a good, like, he's the man on how to have the attitude for it. You know what I mean? If you're it, dude, he basically calls you out, dude, on what you want and who you want to be and what you want to be like. Here's Crowley's Book of the Law. How do you know he really ain't talked to God? Or whatever. How do you know he really sold his soul to the devil? How do you know he just didn't go there to meet Satan? Just conjure Satan. Not even worry about Gabriel, then leave. Because he left early, too, before finishing it. He was only there for a year. You're supposed to be there for a year and 6 months. Like, he might have been bluffing just to say he's the world's greatest poet. Or, he was a prophet the whole time. What if he's connected? Like the casino. Begone, ye mockers, even though ye laugh in my honor, ye shall laugh not long. When ye are sad, and know that I have forsaken you. He is the righteous shall be righteous still, and he that is filthy shall be filthy still. Yo, if you had the Kabbalah, you know what number I'm talking about. It's one day before my birthday. Look it up. Go buy the Kabbalah. Creepy. And the weird thing on Virgo and Pisces. Right, man? Yeah, you know who I'm talking to. Well, this has the most ultimate line in here. Everything is but shades of sorrow. That's basically saying, my dad once told me, happiness is a place you go to sometimes. It's not a place you can be all the time. And like, it's about, there's an old, my dad also told me the old Chinese monk saying was, free yourself from desire and you will reach nirvana. So, you see through how like Crowley was connected and like, cause he didn't have the computer. Keats. Here's something my friend Dave wrote based off of something I told him. Hypothesis. MDMA functions in the manner by eliminating taught social fears, by means of lulling the brain asleep and allowing your mind exert all thirst. Through such a thing is course subjective to one's self-expanding. When the true social fears are eliminated by its action on the brain, then our behavior becomes that of a perfect vision of ourself. When one takes MDMA, ecstasy, MDMA is the chemicals in it, his delight and joy triggers a sensation, releases not necessarily the other ways around. Thus, MDMA can be used as a therapy as to improve yourself and become better, healthier, never all by analyzing. He's saying Ludwig took meth. There's more in here too, which you're just gonna have to I'll put up another video later. Oh, Keats. Well, I'm gonna start Keats in the next video.